Hello, and welcome to, or welcome back to, the channel of the Nasdaq scalping bot. It's a channel about a bot, a Python program that I made. It's my first Python program with the goal to do some automated trading on the Nasdaq, and the ultimate goal is to have some passive income while sleeping. And in a daily update, I tell you guys what did I change in the code, how did the bot function, and how are we doing on the market. And this is a new day, so there's a new report. Let's see how we did it today. Well guys, normally I start to show you what we did with the code and what I changed in the code if there were changes in the code. But I first want to go back to this screen. I want to talk to you guys because today, this afternoon, I almost stopped the program. As in, it has no use doing this, spending all this time, not making YouTube videos, but spending all this time in a bot that's never gonna work. And I know you guys think from, what? Yesterday you were that far and we were talking about fine-tuning in the next couple of days, etc. So what went wrong? Well, now I go to the code screen. And I'm going to show you the market pie. There's market pie. And then all the way up, we have fetch current market info. And for the guys who are following this channel for quite a while, know that this fetch current market info is the starting point of the entire bot. All the information that I get from this point on from the API is what I use to do all the things inside the bot. The MACD calculations, the strategy, the calculation for the stop loss, everything is based on this. And what I found out today was that this is flow bid, the bid price, but I also had, and we also had a closing price, we had a high, and we had a low, we had a percentage change and a real change. And in the last couple of months, we found out that those values, the high and the low, only change once an hour. And the net change, a percentage change, are the percentage change for 1 day. So those four values were already out the window. I could not do anything with it. And today I also found out that the closing price is not the closing price. And of course it's my failure, and now that I think about, not now, but during the day I was thinking about it, and of course the closing price is not the closing price because this is a snapshot. As in, you see what's on the market right at that moment that you ask for the values, and right at that moment there is no closing price available because the candle is not closed. Maybe for that minute, but not for those 5 minutes, and certainly not for that hour. So you don't get a closing price. The closing price, what I thought was close, was a offer price, and that was a difference from 1.79999999992427. And you guys who are following this know this number a lot. I've seen it a lot, and sometimes it was a 1.8000, but most of the time it was on 1.7999999. This was not the right number. It's the spread. And I didn't realize that. I thought that it was the closing price because of the difference from the opening price, but it wasn't. And I find it out, and I think about, so all I have left now to work with the entire bot is the bid price, the current opening price from the candle. And I thought, how am I gonna do this? I was chatting, of course, with ChatGPT. I went through all my accounts to find a new chat to keep on talking about the market and solutions before I get reach your maximum for today. You can restart again in a couple of hours. And I have a bid price, and I can use the bid price, of course, in the candle strategy. That's okay, because the candle strategy, the 3-candle strategy that I use, is based on the opening price from the current candle versus the opening price from the previous candle versus the opening price from the oldest candle. And if there's a difference in a certain direction, this means buy or sell. But that's not enough. I also need an indicator to tell me if we're going in the right direction, and I use the MACD. And to calculate the MACD, for the guys who don't know how to calculate a MACD, to calculate a MACD, you need the closing prices of the latest candles. And like I do, a MACD 26 means that I need the 26 latest candles closing prices to calculate the EMA 9, to calculate the EMA 12, and to calculate the signal line for 9 MACD lines, etc. And now I don't have a closing price anymore. See, what use does it have? That's what I was thinking about. And if we look, and I brought in the code from the earlier version, that was this one. Yeah, you can see it. This one, and the earlier code is what I used before, and this is the set. Are these the settings? Yeah, these are the settings. Okay, but it doesn't care because this is fetch a value and fetch one candle. Let's take a fetch a value with the one above. If you look at those two functions, then you see that I fetch a value with out the GUI, double click, and then on an X and an I value in the browser, and then I fetch the I position, the open position, and the MACD, and this is the MACD blue, this is the MACD, and the signal line. I fetch those from the browser, and it did work. It was good enough. Those values were transported to the contracts, in which I look at right here. Status check. There is my 3-candle contract, my 3-candle strategy, where I'm looking at the flow candle 1, 2, and 3 with a difference of 1, and the sudden increase. So this is the highly volatile, the breakout, and the breakout was +7. And that's how I did it. With the MACD values in line, I could do my stuff, and I made profit. That's why I did it. It worked. The only downside from this working on with getting the data from a position was that the browser always refreshes, like you see yesterday several times. The browser refresh, And if you look at the window now, and if I grab the market, you can see in the browser that there is constant change. These sell and buy buttons now up here were first, when I started, on this side. And when I press buy, for instance, then you see them. That's where they originally were. Now they are up there. And so there were constantly changes in the browser update, and every change meant that I had to adjust the codes, the positions, the coordinates. And I thought, wow, why? Working with an API is so much easier. You fetch the data you need from your screenshot, from your snapshot, like this one, and then we can go on. And it didn't. And now I only have the bid price, the opening price, together with the time, and that was it. So I was thinking about, what am I going to do now? And I was planning as in to tell you guys, it's good to be here, it's nice to talk to you, but this project is damn to do. Then I was thinking about, and I was chatting about it with ChatGPT, and I think, what? We do things every 3 minutes. When we fetch a candle, I wait 180 seconds or 3 minutes, then fetch a new candle, and the whole cycle goes again. What if I, in those 3 minutes, fetch 3 times a candle every 60 seconds? And ChatGPT told me it could be, it's the nearest, if we use this, like my suggestion was, the closing price is the sum of the current candle bids of those 3 divided by 3. So the average opening price from the last 3 1-minute candles is the closing price for the newest candle. And that's what I did. That's what you're looking at. And so I killed the bot, and I had to do a lot of stuff to adjust this, to make this work in the MACD and in the calculation for the stop loss and several other places that I had to do. In the meantime, I had already the bot running, and that's what I'm going to show you right now. If we're talking about changes in the code, I'm going to close this one, and I'm going to call up the bot screen. And if you look at the bot screen, you see a totally new bot screen. This is the new bot screen. I saw just a moment ago that the market is closed, so it won't change anymore. But this is the new bot screen. And a short explanation. What you see are the candles, of course, the latest candles that I'm working with. So this is all 3-minute candles. And if you look at those candles, they are all in a different height, the candle height, and they have a wick on both sides. That's also new because, and I will explain that again in the code lately, but they will have wicks, they have different sizes, and they are different in colors, red and green. And I started this bot yesterday evening. After the closing market, I put in this one, and I started the bot, and this morning I noticed that all the candles were green all the candles had the same height, which is impossible if you have an opening and a closing price. So I wondered, why are all the candles the same height, and why have all the candles the same color and the same direction, even when it should have been a red candle? And that's when I noticed there is a failure. There is an error in the closing price, and that's what set this all off. Well, what we're looking here is, of course, the candles. Down here we see the MACD values with the MACD bar and the MACD line. That's down here, and because I started the bot rather late, I don't have the starting time in it. No, I don't. It's just the latest update, and the candle number, you see, I only have 51 candles, so the bot is not running that long. So that's what we see right here, the MACD values. Then on the side, 0 to 7 is, we talked about it yesterday, the total opening positions of the counter. If a profit position is opened, it should be open for a maximum from 7 times 3 minutes is 21 minutes. So this is what you see right here. And then we have the market information. That's down here, the market information. Those are the numbers, the current, the previous, and the old is open with the MACD calculations. And these are the MACD calculations from the newest. So it's not the MACD like it is the actual MACD, but the indicator values are based on the opening price of the API. That's the only thing that I'm working with. And so that's what you see right here. Then the advice, I made a separate view now with the conditions of the strategy. And if those are green, not all of them, but you see, if the current is bigger than the previous and the previous bigger than the oldest, and the MACD is bigger than the signal, if those three are green, then we have a buy candle check, and those four will say we have to make a buy contract, and smaller than the current, previous, and signal larger as the MACD, then we have a sell. So I can monitor if the conditions are met to open or to close, no, not to close, to open a contract. And right up there, we see the contract status, what kind of a contract, the contract size, and the stop loss distance. And the stop loss distance is right here, minus 106,000 something, and it's strange number. This one it's not good, so I will take a look at it, why this is this number. Then up here we have the balance, and the balance is yesterday 599, now we are at 566. We lost 33 euros, and I will show you what happened there. The day profit is up here, minus 10. Then the current profit loss, the market status, the number of candles, and the final update. So this is the new information screen for me, but also for the Twitch followers to see what is going on with the bot. And it's more graphical for the guys who are on Discord, did already see a variance of this. It's almost the same, but I changed it in the last couple of weeks a bit more. But I already showed this version on the Discord server. So this is the new bot screen, and I will need to fine tune it because I'm not totally happy with it. But while I was doing this, I had something like, why are these candles that, and that's what I find out, that the closing price is out of the window. Now, I explained a lot about the code and about the bot screen. The bot did work as it should be, but the interface, it's a different part of the bot. The interface had some things, so I need to adjust some things right here and there. But the bot functions, so let's leave the bot screen and go to the market. And if we go to the market, we see we had a rather active market, but slow. It's a slow market. Sometimes we went up, sometimes we went down, and the bot picked it up. And if we're gonna look at the report for today, then you see that it's already yesterday. No, today, yeah. I'm missing. I thought he had already opened one before this one. Okay, this is position closed with a negative of 33 euros, and this is because I closed this position. It's not that the bot closed this position, but I closed the position at minus 33, because at this point, that was when I saw it, the stop loss distance calculated with the new values from the bid price, not the close price, was a stop loss distance of minus 232. And that would mean that the bot stop would be reached if it's somewhere beneath the 80 or something. So that's not good. Kill it. So I closed this position. That's what you see right here, and that's why we had such a large negative number. And those two, -4 and a -6, those were the better numbers. And I looked at it, and the latest one, this is what I saw. The 6 euro loss had a stop loss again, trailing stop loss of 45, which is too large. So I need to adjust the multiplier again, and I already did that. Let's go to the code and go to the contracts, and you see that I had the multiplier with a float of 2.5, and that's a bit too large, so I'm gonna bring it back to 2. And then see what happens tomorrow. Well, these were some of the changes in the code. If I need to talk to you through all the changes I made in the code, well, I go with a fast number through it because otherwise the video will be too long. I added this function to fetch a candle with 3 candles of 60 seconds. That's what I added. Then I change in the market. Oh, it's the same file. Then I change in the market where's my MACD? The calculation of the MACD and the EMA. It's not that much change, but I had to check it for if the values are right. So those were the new MACD I changed. I changed also in the contracts the calculating stop loss with the new values. I changed in the view, and you didn't see that one, interface, the scalping bot view. I changed a lot of things in the scalping bot view. This is a totally new file for you guys to do the new calculations with, and then especially in the charts right up here, paint event. We have a max and a minimum price again. I changed the candle data. I changed a lot, and because we do a 3 candle fetch in 3 minutes, we can have over those 3 minutes a candle high and a candle low. So those values are back in the game now, because I throw them out in the last version because they were 1 hour. But now with the 3 minutes, I have something of a high and a low, and that's what I'm using in the bot to generate those wicks on the upper and lower side. I don't use them anywhere else, only in the bot view, to make it look like a candle, a really candle with a wick on each side when necessary. Sorry. So that was it for today. This was a longer video and not a shorter one, and I covered all I had to cover. But in conclusion, after checking with ChatGPT, I find new meaning to keep on going with this project and to try again with these new values with this new value, the only one I have, which means that I have to do in the next couple of weeks again, starting from scratch, testing, are these numbers correct? Are they trustworthy? Can we make a profit with these numbers? Should I adjust this one? So we're going to do some fine tuning, but I also need to check something if the numbers are still right. Which means we have reached the end of the video. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment. How do you feel about this project? What do you think about what I'm doing with this Python program? Have a little fun every day. See you guys tomorrow.